Right, good morning and welcome everybody. And as Gary said, another rainy day in Manchester is my home city, so I can say that. But it's always a great pleasure to be back in Manchester. And we were looking out last night, we had a dinner on in the cloud bar at the top. And when you look across the city and you see the massive transformation that's taken place over the last 25 years, it's just tremendous. It's fantastic to see. And that kind of underpins a lot of what goes on at local communities, and it's great to see that. So I'm the Chief Executive of Civica Group, delighted to be here, and I'm delighted that so many people have taken the occasion to join us. Obviously these events do take time, your time, it is valuable, and today really it's all about sharing, all about collaboration, and all about being part of an ecosystem, and that's one of the fundamentals that we see ourselves within Civica. We're one part of something, we're not the whole, and that's really important for us. It is promised to be a packed agenda today with lots of debates and lots of good speakers, and certainly on the technology front, we've got a great speaker who's joining us down here, and I've had a quick look at the slides and they look really excellent and really position how the future's going to be. But that future's coming quickly, so just bear that in mind. It's not something that's going to be we can ignore. And I guess from overall for those, we are in a very interesting time, as you'd expect. Last night was took kind of all over the dinner we had together. Everything was focused on what was going to happen next. And the great news is I don't have to talk about it. But Rob, down here, has been busily pulling all his information together to make sure that we can give a kind of view about what all this might mean. And hopefully he's going to be the one who pulls it all together. So he's looking happy about that. So in terms of the most important part, we've got Rob Whiteman with us today, the exec of Civica, and he's obviously going to give the state of the nation and also not just talk about Brexit, but what it really means for local communities and the organisations that support those communities. So we welcome you and thank you. And again, we'd like to welcome our partners who are supporting us again this year, which is very important for us. As I say, we are part of the ecosystem. It's great to have them. And outside in the foyer there, I think you've already started to see there's quite a lot of booths set up, a lot of opportunities to interact with both Civica teams and our partners and talk about technology and how that might enhance organisations. So please make sure you take some time with that. It is national change. It is historic times. There are things going on today that have never been happened before and unprecedented. And that's great at the national level, but there's also the day-to-day, the things that we have to do for our communities. So from my perspective, it's very much, the one thing we can be sure about is we are certain it is going to be uncertain. And I think from a perspective of an organisation that both serves the public sector and your citizens, but also we're part of the economy. We have something in the order of around 20 offices in the UK alone, and we have another probably 15, 20 out through the rest of the globe. So we're both a local employer as well as being a national company. And of course, we see what's actually happening at local levels because in those communities, we have employees and those employees contribute to those communities. So it's quite an important thing. We are one of the largest companies in the UK. We've got circa 5,000 employees. So we do understand what's going on. And we also are very much driven by the need to ensure we can access good investment. And that obviously is underpinned by certainty. Uncertainty doesn't help. So again, we'll touch on that in a moment. Underlying issues that everybody is facing, there are lots of them, but I think the ones that we get fed back on a regular basis, domestic, social and economic, demographic change, high streets that are having to transform themselves very differently than perhaps they were 15 years ago, and some of the challenges that are going on there. That also affects the private sector economy and the investment behind the private sector economy. So there's quite a lot of movement there. And obviously we've got vulnerability and the need to support vulnerable adults, children, etc. All of this takes a lot of effort, and a lot of it is at the local level. The national programs are really just there supporting policy where the real work is done on the ground with the technology. Our local organisations, and we see lots of them, we have lots of customers. We've got about 3,500 customers across our group, and so we have a very strong relationship and a strong empathy with those customers, and we get a lot of feedback. They have done an amazing job. You have all done an amazing job with the resources and the funding and everything else that sits within there to be able to deliver the services that we're delivering today, and we commend that. But as we look ahead to 2019, certainly what's going to happen in 2019, the decisions that we take today are really going to start to impact in 2021. So although we've got some big challenges today, it's going to be quite quickly before we're into the next 2, 3, 4 years, and those decisions are going to start to play out. So from our perspective, it's important that we ensure that we're in a good position to support you to make sure that you're able to deliver on those. There is increasing demand, there is increasing change, and again, that's not just in the public services, but also the organisations that sit within your public sector. So the High Street I mentioned, it's going through radical change, it's going through unprecedented change for it, and that obviously affects a lot of your income, your opportunities, and also impacts the employability in your area. So again, it's quite important that all of these things are taken into consideration. Underpinning this, as a technology company, we are a technology company. It's software is the heart of everything we do. Obviously, we're seeing a massive proliferation of technology. Technology is moving at a fast pace. And there's just a few things here that we just thought kind of may resonate with everybody. Amazing, this is here today. It's not tomorrow, it's here today. So hopefully we can start to see how that actually plays out. Obviously, it's fantastic. We're excited. We love technology. We love playing with technology. We love the opportunity for technology. But then we have to come back to the here and now as well. It's a lot to be done in order to be able to support all of that. And obviously, technology is dependent on constant innovation, but also having structures and infrastructure, etc., to be able to cope, handle, and then develop. It is a significant period of innovation. It's one of the key words for our organisation. We're seeing lots in the digital area, and we've got lots of activity going on there. AI, automation, we're already starting to see that coming through with our customers. We're starting to learn. It is a learning environment, and obviously you are looking at new ways to deal with the ever-increasing demands from the citizen and also the infrastructure that you already have. So quite big challenges going on there. So in terms of where we are, these are some of the things that we can see in the market. We do a lot of research all the time to make sure that we're contemporary. We can see what's going across and where we can best support our organisations that we work with as partners. 35% of our customer base today are definitely benefiting from early investment in digital, but it is early investment. And of course, like all investment, you've got to get yourself in a good order, you've got to get the structures right, and then obviously build on that. Automation, the transformation away from having physical environments into having technology environments to be able to deliver with the public. And already, we're having conversations last night, it was great to hear there is lots of projects running across our customer base where there is real testing of AI and how best to use it, and also most importantly, what matters for them is then how does that interact with their employee, and then how does it interact with their citizens. So there's quite a few challenges there which have to be addressed, but it is actually happening, which is great to see. And data, obviously data is the core to how we're going to move forward. Interesting enough, of course, whenever we talk to our partners, people like Microsoft, what they're really talking about is in order to be able to enhance and use that data, you have to be able to access it. Therefore, moving everything towards a cloud-based environment is going to open up a lot of that opportunity. And as we start to think about changing technology, how we think about supporting infrastructure, the cloud is going to be the key thing. You've probably noticed in the background, these clouds are going by this screen as we kind of sit here, very subtly done, but it is there because the cloud is the enabler, the platform that we should be able to access, connect, and be able to use this data in a way that we can then put tools around it, whether it's AI, BI, etc. These are all terms that are going to get thrown out through the day, so I won't try and explain them. I'm sure by the end of today we'll all be on the same page, but that's the way we can kind of see that. And certainly in terms of talking to our customers and what's important for them, 77% of our local government and health customers are already positioning cloud is where they need to be making investment. It's quite a big journey. We understand it's not a simple thing. If you have an infrastructure and then moving across to the cloud is not something you can easily do, but that's part of that relationship we have to work on over the coming years. And by doing that, you can access all the other tools and opportunities. So again, we see that as something we will invest heavily in. And later today, in some of the sessions, we've got Harold Dineff, who's one of our colleagues who's recently joined us from SAP, who run their cloud integration program and cloud design program for Europe. So again, we're looking at what we need to do to invest to make sure that we can support you. In terms of, if you may, just let me give you a little bit of background about Civica. It's important that you recognize how we're operating, how we're thinking. And again, a big part for us is we want to be a strong, sustainable partner with innovation. And obviously, that's important for us. I talked a little bit about investment earlier. One of the things that we are continually looking at is how do we invest to make sure that we can continue to grow our business. In the last 12 months as a business, we've added over 1,000 new colleagues. Most of those are high-quality jobs, and most of them are development-type activities. So again, within your communities, we continue to invest at local level and across the whole group. 1,000 colleagues. We've now got circa around 5,000. When I joined the business back in 2015, the company roughly had about 2,500 colleagues across the group. Today, 3 years on, just over, we're 5,000. And again, one of the largest tech companies in the UK, and who are headquartered in the UK, so we're very proud of that. And again, we look to the future because underpinning all of that is our relationship with our customers. We're ranked top 25 places to work in the UK. We recognise that we are in competition. We're in competition for talent. So we have to spend a lot of time making sure that our talent is the very best it can be, because ultimately they're serving you. So if we don't have great talent, we can't continue to serve properly. So we spend a lot of our time making sure that happens, both here in the UK. And one of the things that we really got excited about this year is the Young Enterprise Scheme. We're a core supporter of Young Enterprise. If you haven't come across Young Enterprise, it works in schools, and it's all about giving children the opportunity to become entrepreneurs and to develop their skills. And we looked at that as an opportunity for us, as a way to bring technology together with school children to kind of look for people who are going to join us in the future. So it's an investment today which may not pay back for 5 or 10 years, but we can definitely see the opportunity. And these programs that are run in the schools are absolutely amazing, and they really do give you a fantastic buzz. So if you haven't seen them, you've not been involved, I would recommend it's something that is definitely worthwhile engaging with, and we're definitely going to support both financially but also within our teams. It's a core component of our development program. In terms of products, 19% of our revenue we invest in R&D, and it's what does set us aside from our competitors. It's an important number. We continue every year to make sure that we are accessing capital and making sure we deploy it into the investment into developing new product services. We acquired 8 new businesses this year. There's a number of them outside today in the foyer, and these are all focused on public services. That is our mantra. We are a public services technology business. That is what we do. And most of our opportunities to bring in new businesses into the family enable us to expand our service offering, expand our technology offering. Common products and roadmaps. I'm sure many of you have been involved in many of our sessions with our teams and have been developing the roadmaps. They're critical to make sure that we align our business with your needs. And in terms of delivery there, 2.5 million users administering 120 billion of cash across the world. I mean, it is just a phenomenal size and shape. And underpinning all of that is security. We recognize data security, cyber security. It is constantly being addressed in our group. It's such an important underpinning. And our last one there is that new innovation partner program. We recognize Civica doesn't want to be the only partner. It wants to be a partner you can trust to go to work with, who can also operate with other partners that you have. So we have an ecosystem, and we're investing with this innovation partner for small companies who can't perhaps access the market, but have some fantastic technology where we can help them by supporting them through our customers, through our marketing expertise, through some investment, and actually give them a chance to grow, because that will help us develop our business as well. So it's a real synergy we can develop from that. And finally, I guess, we're absolutely delighted the business continues to grow. We're very successful. We continue to be successful. We continue to want to push forward and grow and develop. And I think on the framework of that, hopefully today with the colleagues from our team at Civica, you can sit down, talk to them about what's new, what the new inventions are, what the new opportunities are, and then how that might fit into your organisations. We are really excited about the future. I know there's a lot going on with Brexit, there's a lot going on at local levels, but everything we hear and everything we see with our customers is everybody is looking to the future, everybody's trying to find the right path, and everybody there is a huge excitement, and we want to be part of that. So on the basis of that, rather than talk about Brexit, I can see Rob's eagerly waiting to jump up here and give us all how it's all going to work out. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day today, and please, please, please take time to collaborate and take time to talk to our people. They will definitely there to support you. Thanks very much indeed.